And we're going to move on to Representative Bella Wilkinson's bill. Let me just grab that. Representative Bella Wilkinson, you can take the podium, and I will be with you shortly. Rep, can you give me the bill number, please? I'm sorry, I got a couple.
House Bill 5241.
5241, stand by. I got a couple. 4041, there it is. Okay. Representative Bella Wilkinson, go ahead and introduce your bill to us.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman and members of the committee. House Bill 5241 is an act relating to businesses and professions, in particular pharmacies. This bill authorizes a pharmacist to prescribe and dispense hormonal contraceptive patches and self-administered oral hormonal contraceptives, provided the pharmacist has completed a training program approved by the State Board of Pharmacy. This is a bill that has passed in committee, in the HEW committee, and has passed in the House of Representatives already in previous years, but for whatever reason, it wasn't really jazzed up for the Senate, and we're hoping that we could get it past the Senate this year. According to the Association of State and Territorial Health Officials, 45% of U.S. pregnancies are unintended, and almost 1/3 of U.S. births occur too short of a period from a previous birth. Both of these circumstances are associated with higher rates of later access to prenatal care, premature birth, and low birth weight. Typically, women who face economic, informational, and systematic barriers to contraceptive access fall into this particular category. Expanding the role of pharmacists in providing such care could be viewed as a way to improve both maternal and child well-being and health outcomes. Unintended pregnancies is a major contributor to induced abortion. Increasing access and use of effectual contraception can reduce unintended pregnancies and further reduce the number of abortions performed in the United States, and in this case in the state of Rhode Island. In Rhode Island, according to the Rhode Island Department of Health, in 2019 there were 2,102 abortions performed. If this bill was put into place, we would potentially save 525 preborns and their mothers, sparing them from the consequences of unintended pregnancies. Pharmacists are the most underutilized healthcare professional that we have. And if you look at how pharmacies are spread out throughout the state of Rhode Island, you'll find a pharmacy typically every 5 miles, at least one. And in the city of Warwick, I think there's almost as many pharmacies as there are donut shops. But the fact of the matter is that a man can easily go into a pharmacy or could go into a grocery store and can have access to birth control. But a woman cannot. A woman, if the woman wants birth control, she has to go through her doctor if she has an OBGYN. And quite frankly, in the 13 other states and territories that have implemented this law, they found that younger women between the ages of 19 and 29 years old were the ones that were most affected in a positive way by implementing this change, because then they would also have continuous access. And think about the pharmacies that are open 24 hours a day, along with the grocery stores. Now, last year and the year before, I was asked by the HEW committee, if I had the opportunity to speak to an OBGYN. And I told them, quite frankly, that I had attempted to make an appointment with my own OBGYN to discuss this bill. For 3 months, I was unable to get time on her schedule. This is what these women are facing. So I would ask you to please support House Bill 5241. It's for women's health care. It makes perfect sense. Thank you.
Thank you, Representative Bella Wilkinson. Are there any questions from the committee for Representative Bella Wilkinson? If not, we'll hear from our phone call testimony. Chris, who do we have on the line?
Bradford should still be online.
Okay. Mis-
Call back.
If you could give him a call back.
Great.
Hello, Jeffrey. Thank you for joining us again. This is Representative Casey at the Health and Human Services Committee meeting. We have House Bill 5241 by Representative Vella Wilkinson regarding pharmacies. We'd like to get your input. If you would keep your commentary brief, we would appreciate it. Thank you.
Excellent. Thanks for having me on again, Chairman Casey and members of the committee. Pharmacists provide contraception prescribing in over 12 states. Participation is voluntary. Training is required. The consults involve an extensive screening process. And I think the most important thing is that pharmacists support this. Almost 2 in 3, almost 4 of every 5 women support getting contraceptive services from pharmacies. And in Oregon, in their Medicaid population, instituting this policy saved $1.6 million in just the first year that it was in effect and averted 51 unintended pregnancies. The benefits are clear, the safety and efficacy are clear. I urge you to support and pass this bill.
Thank you, sir. Are there any questions for Mr. Bratberg from the committee? Would anybody like to make any comments regarding House Bill 5241? If not, that will conclude the hearing on House Bill 5241. Thank you very much, Representative Vella Wilkinson.
Thank you,
for staying
committee.
with us. Please be careful driving home.